All right, welcome to Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. We are back. Tobias, myself, Shaq. It's not coming home. We watched it. Spain 2, England 1. Is it time? Is it time for Southgate, Tobias? Is it over? Is a Southgate reign over?
Southgate was over before he even started, to be honest. I don't think anyone wanted him. I know the media, everyone else was Lord after the positives, and if you look at it on paper, we end up going through a lot. Is that he's got to finals, so semi-finals and all the rest of it, but ultimately it's the winning that counts, isn't it? And he's failed. He failed when he against Italy when he was on our home turf. He failed again. I don't think yesterday was as bad as the Italy one, to be honest. Spain were the best team of the tournament by far, I believe. So yesterday you sort of half have. You don't. I want to say half have sympathy, but you can't because they just shithoused their way through 7 games or 6 games before the final, and that was the 7th. And within them 7 games, you can probably say you'd be lucky if you say 90 minutes of football they played well throughout the whole tournament. But he suits the agenda of the FA. It's very much a political stance at first. In fairness, I had high hopes at the beginning of the tournament because of the decisions he made in terms of dropping certain players, which is something that he hasn't done. Like his lacked, he's been over loyal in certain areas, but the loyalty to the players in themselves, that especially at starting 11, let's take like Kobe out of it because he was forced to do that. I think he was given that Trent. It just didn't suit Trent, especially the way they play. The Shaw was just a given anyway. He had to play some sort of 90 minutes at some point if you take him.
Tobias, I'd like to cut you, yeah. You talked about the Trent situation, yeah. Like you said with Southgate, Cucurella arguably the best fullback in the tournament. Not arguably, to me, the best fullback in the tournament. So you're telling me you can't find the space for Trent Alexander-Arnold. The same deficiencies what Cucurella has is that he finds it hard to defend 1v1. But Spain found a way. You've got a generational talent with the ball at his feet that can't get a game. But they make it work and make Cucurella the best fullback in the tournament. And this guy who makes assist after assist after assist can't get a game.
Yeah, but you know my feelings about Trent. I've said it many times. Trent has to play.
Yeah, straight.
So you find a formation that suits Trent, and I believe that with how they were set up with especially when they was playing Gallagher. If you take Trent out of the midfield, and Gallagher was the part of that 3 with the scumbag bag midfield that he had, it was perfect to be playing Trent because it sort of mirrored what Liverpool used to do. You just had runners that allowed Trent to do what he needed to do on the ball. So it helped, but Southgate hasn't got that way about him. Southgate, I don't believe, has a style of play. If you look, like everything he done, it was to nullify the opponent. Like Spain didn't do that at one point. Yeah. And we go back to on paper. On paper, you probably say that England should have the best squad within. It's arguably if you're looking at France. Spain, you can even say Spain. Yeah, I don't believe Spain. If you look at their starting 11, you wouldn't take many over who England had.
Well, Tobias, I disagree. I think I would. I look at their 2 wide players. I think their 2 wide players are better than every wide player.
To the tournament, come on.
I know.
Tournament.
But Tobias, is that because of the arrogance of the English that we just watch the Premier League and we think everybody else is trash? This is what this country does. They think everybody else is trash if you're not playing in the Premier League. So it's come to this mad arrogance of England and the FA is that these guys are crap if you don't play in the Premier League. Where for me is that these guys are not as good as they think they are. They play for top sides. Yes, at Man City, you've got a genius manager, but to me, it feels like these guys are system players. They are good in a system. So when you take them out of their system into a different environment, they can't produce the same output what they do at their previous clubs. I think these guys are good, but they're not that good.
But you say it's a system. This rain is going nuts.
I know.
You say it's a system. It is a system, but every team plays with a system. And it's down to the international manager to find the system to suit the team. This is why not all your best players can play. Like, you may have Foden and Bellingham in the same team, but one of them has to play.
Yeah.
The need for both of them has to play is crazy, which is what England have always done throughout my lifetime. You play the best team on paper, which is what you're going to hear a lot today. Is you play the best team on paper, but for the team itself, is it the right thing? For your system, is it the right thing?
Or it could be even game to game. I looked at France. France didn't play the best football, but one game they dropped Dembele. One game they dropped Griezmann, and that's equivalent. Dropping Dembele is equivalent to dropping Saka, or Griezmann just dropping Bellingham. But they dropped. That's what I'm saying.
Dembele just had an example, man. Because
no. But I'm just saying that the standard of play. So Dembele is like equivalent to Saka. That means Saka not playing a game. Where under Southgate, I think Saka's played literally every game since Southgate's been in the England job. So he keeps his tried and trusted.
It's hard to use Saka as an example. Is hard because Saka is arguably England's best player throughout the tournament.
And the thing is, I'm not getting at Saka. I'm just using him as an example. But sometimes you can use certain players for certain games.
Well, tournament football, that's where you got squad though. Tournament football, with the way the games come, you've got to rotate. And he failed in that. Like the third game, because he was so worried about not getting top spot, and because they haven't played well, he was forced to play his first team again, hoping that they was going to put in a performance. But that's England as a whole, isn't it? That's Southgate as a whole. If you see against Netherlands, he matched up against them. And then, they're probably 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, however you want to put it, suited them better than what it did. But as a whole, he was more focused on playing his tried and trusted and his so-called better players rather than finding a system that suits a team. And that was his biggest fault. What frustrated me about the whole thing is that, okay, how many games are you going to have to watch these players not play well?
Yeah,
I love Foden. But Foden done nothing throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Again, Kane.
He was terrible.
I
blame him the most. He was absolute.
I don't blame Kane though, because I blame Southgate, because if you're going to play Kane, then you've got to play fast wingers next to him.
And Tobias, I want to stop you there. Yeah, you're going to play fast wingers next to him. So So when you play your fast wingers, what does Kane usually do? Drop deep, right?
Yeah.
But you've got two number 10s in Foden and Bellingham, so you don't need him to drop deep. So if you're going to play that system to suit Kane, why do these guys can't play? Because they're all clogging up the same areas. They all want to be in the same areas. So he's playing the false 9, which is basically a 10, dropping deep, and the wingers are going from out to in. But you've got Bellingham and Foden there. So it makes no sense. So you're just basically playing with 10 men with Harry Kane because he can't play to his strengths. So you've got to have.
But this is where it goes back to the point of you're playing your best players rather than your best team. Because they're more providers. Yeah. So if that's the case, you play. And he's never going to be a wall, is he?
No.
He's not built like that. He wants to get involved. So if that's the case, then you've got to play fast wingers. If you're going to play the Fodens and the Bellinghams, you've got to play Watkins. That was the only striker. And look, as the game was going yesterday, I told you that as soon as they come on, something will happen for him. And as soon as they come on, it did. I don't know how much it took, or what it had to take for them boys to get a start. It's crazy. Like they can't consistently come on and change the game, and then not get a start. It's madness. For how if you've got Foden and if you look at how Foden plays for City, what's he got? He's got a bully up front that just wants to score goals, and he's staying on the last man, and he's just there to feed him.
And he's making runs in behind.
Yeah, and as you see, that wasn't working without Kane. So if you're saying that Kane's your most important player, he's your captain, and that's the way you want to go, then that means you've got to make difficult decisions. That means Foden or Bellingham both can't start. That means arguably you had to take Rashford.
He was trash, bro. You can't
No,
take him, bro.
he was trash. That's either here or there. But for what you needed, like,
No, I hear you. But do you think the FA and the media have something to play? Because if he did do that, maybe he had that in his mind to do that, to literally play Bellingham or Foden or one or the other or whatever. If he ever done that, they would have killed him. If he, say for example, he sees Kane struggling, he can't take Kane off, or he can't start Ollie Watkins and they lose and they go out, they're gonna kill him. So he's thinking, damn if I do, damn if I don't. I'm trying to think in the sense of, if you're a Southgate fan, if you look at the record, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. So he's getting closer. He's done better than any other England manager that's actually been England manager. If you look at his record,
arguably, I said it ages ago, is that England need to win now while all of these nations are in their transition.
Terrible, and they're coming back, and the other, say Spain are coming back. France will be back. So, and you're right, and I think this is the time is now. But, Tobias, if they're going to go for another England manager, who are they going to get? Because all these England managers are serial losers. They don't know how to win. So you have to go down the foreign route. So if the foreign route doesn't work, who else do you get? I'm just thinking, I look at England, and England as a whole, as a footballing nation, they're not a superpower. So are England fans and England people expecting too much? Because if you look at the history of football, England are not a superpower. They're not a Brazil or Argentina or Italy, Germany, France, Spain. They don't have history of winning major trophies. They've won one trophy, and it was 1966. Half of the people in England have never seen England win a trophy. And that was debatable if the ball went over the line anyway. And it was at home. So this country is, to me, is a bit privileged and thinking they should be going to tournaments and winning and getting to finals all the time. This country is not built. If you look at the history of football, they are not built. They haven't got the history of winning major trophies. And I think that is a major thing, where the history of football, and I don't see England have that. They don't have that.
I don't think I hear what you're saying in that, but I don't think golden generation days we were sitting there looking, or everyone was shouting that we should be winning. We should be going into the tournament favourites. Crazy.
They were, bro. It was worse. Bro, it was worse. I know, but the media, that's it. But the media, I know, but the media made it like that.
But,
like it was never a golden generation, Tobias. I was watching R9 and Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and I was watching Zidane and Henri Trezeguet, like Del Piero. It was never a golden generation.
It was a golden generation for England, and at the time it was because of the players that they had in the team. So it was, but that wasn't my problem. Is that I don't think, as a fan, anyone back in the day when we had that team was walking into a tournament saying we're going to win.
They were, bro.
In recent tournaments, the media was, because that's media's job, isn't it? Media's job is to sell the hype,
bro.
Do you know what I mean? Hype sells.
Because we know football, we knew about the other nations. It was the arrogance of the English. I'm telling you, that day it was worse than how it is now.
No, man, because back in the day you had more dominant leagues, Shaq. Come on, man. What leagues did you grow up watching?
Serie A all day. There
was more dominant leagues like that. So now you're looking at the Premier League, arguably, is not, in my opinion, but is probably the most competitive, isn't it?
Yeah. But do you think that because they just took all the best managers in the second all the managers
best managers, but they still don't have the best players?
No, they don't.
So if you look at in recent tournaments, England are going in there, and who's been their main competitor? You look at it on paper again, is that you're saying France. Mm. Everyone else has been in transitional period.
Yeah. And yeah.
So you're looking at it from a common sense And you're saying that recent tournaments, England should be looking at their going in there as borderline near-on favourites. Belgium end up being top of the rankings all the time. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, but
we can start on Belgium.
That's what I was about to say about Belgium. Don't you think peak Belgium was actually better than this England side that won nothing as well?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because we can say that and all the rest. But where have Belgium been?
But they've been like England. They're not a superpower.
Yeah, they're not a superpower, but at least England have made it to a certain point. Whether they've had easy routes, history books don't tell you that. History books just tell you where you got to. History books wouldn't have said that England played crap for the whole tournament. And history books don't tell you that Greece won it by just pumping the ball high up in the air, going route one, old school, bullying.
And put everybody behind the ball here.
Yeah, that's not what it tells you. It just tells you the winner and loser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Belgium, if you look at it, as much as you want to say it, and Belgium shouldn't be sort of at the point that they are anyway, in terms of what happens in the Belgium league. When have you ever watched a game in the Belgium league? So I don't know how they got the cap of being on the top of the FIFA rankings, but they managed to get there. I don't know how that's done, but it doesn't make sense. But so I do feel like as a failure, Belgium have been a bigger failure than England, just through what I stated. But if I go back to, yes, we've come into the tournament, arguably better squads, competing solely against France. If it wasn't for Southgate, negative tactics, and yeah, I just feel like we've missed the moment. We've missed our moment. I don't think we'll have a better moment than what we've had in the last 5 years.
Yeah. I think it's a mentality thing as well. I really do think. I think it's deeper than football as well. I'm not going to go into it, but I think it's deeper than football. I think it's a mentality.
It is and it's not though. But give him a decent manager. I think.
But who? All right. Last bit, Tobias. Who should be England next manager then?
To be honest,
for them to get over the line. That's what I'm saying. To get over the line, because now the new England manager that comes in has to win now.
Okay.
Because Southgate has got quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. Okay. So no matter what the new manager comes in, you've got to win. No quarterfinals because you do the same as Southgate. Like what you said, the history books don't say you played great football or got quarterfinals. It's did you win? So the new manager has to win a World Cup or Euros. That's the assignment. Don't care how you do it, you've got to bring it home.
Okay. Well, for me, this is going to be against all unpopular opinion. Yeah. If Sam Allardyce would have kept the job,
fuck it up.
Sam Allardyce would have won a trophy.
Fuck it up. Now you're moving back.
No. So you're telling me that? Hold on. Before you laugh, all the rest of it. You're telling me Big Sam, the guy of Southgate, is a better manager than Big Sam.
He's not.
What are you telling me? This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Big Sam is not winning the Euros or World Cup.
Okay. So if I would have said to you that Southgate's getting you to 2 finals consecutively, what would you have said before it happened?
Yeah, I would have said you're moving mad.
So if Big Sam's a better manager than Southgate,
it doesn't mean anything, bro. That
That wasn't where I was going. I was just saying that as a point, but.
Okay, but if they have to pick a manager to get them over the line, who's out there? Who's out there, bro?
Who's out there? But I believe that the one person, which is gonna be on top, probably everyone would have said it at some point, and who would suit the whole media agenda, and knows how to win, knows how to scumbag it. Jose.
Yeah, it's a decent shot. I would have said Jose 10 years ago.
I do think at the minute that's where he's suited to. I think he's suited to international football. He's suited to tournament football.
Yeah, set a team up.
He's suited to get that siege mentality, us against the world. Yeah,
But it's the football now. Like we're Tobias, we're the generation now that everybody plays the same. So
yeah, but that's wrong.
You can't. I know, but that's what we are now. Because you hear it on the pundits talking about, I want to see front foot football like Spain and
Okay.
I know. And the thing is, I agree with you because I don't think there's one way of playing football. But this new generation now,
we're saying everything that you're saying everything like that. But has Southgate ever played front foot football?
No. But
So
they'll
what are you
rather
doing?
play. But that's what I'm saying. But they'll rather play front foot football and still lose. Because tell the truth,
No.
France have never played front foot football since
The
Deschamps.
Sharks don't play like that.
But they win. That's the difference. They don't play like that. They don't play front foot football. They'll play winning football, and they do get anything over the line to win.
Because they know players that play. They have players that can play a system, and Deschamps won't play the best players.
No, he
He'll
don't.
play
He
the
don't
best
care.
team for how he wants to play.
Facts.
This is what it all goes back to.
That's it. Yeah, facts.
And that's exactly what Jose will do. He won't play the best team. He will play. I mean, the best players. He'll play the best team.
Best team. Yeah.
To win, and it will change by game depending on the opponent.
Yeah. And
Nothing has changed with Southgate and what he done. The only thing he done was change the formation to match others.
Yeah.
And to match people that are less superior.
Yeah.
Like, why are you matching Holland for?
Yeah, that's mad.
Holland are dead.
One of the worst Holland teams I've seen for, I think maybe my lifetime, to be fair.
Yeah, so
bang average.
So, but he's been there 7 years now. He's been in England 7 years, 3-4 tournaments. How long do you let him have it before that window closes? You know, and you look at it now, and you're looking at, and this is we're going to probably go off topic, but you look at England and you look at Spain, and Spain have just Uno'd everyone, reverse Uno card everyone. Like, they used to blast through everyone and all the rest of it, had no pace. Now all of a sudden, two guys with pace and brain. Because I'm not gonna just say they've solely got pace, which that's crazy. These guys have pace and a footballing brain.
Yeah, their philosophy. I think they've cracked the code. I think since they had that golden generation with Iniesta and Xavi, that was a generation of footballers. You won't see that again in our lifetime. That's equivalent, not the same type of level, but that's equivalent to seeing R9, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, and Cafu all together. Now,
Spain had a Morata up front.
I know, and the difference is there. But Spain always had that philosophy. Even though I've been watching football from back in the day, they've always had that philosophy of keeping the football. Now they're producing wingers who are direct and quick and who can dribble, and they always will have that philosophy, that footballing philosophy, and that footballing brain. No one ain't beat them.
But even look at it from a tactical perspective. I knew going into the game that Kyle Walker and Shaw were going to be a match for those wingers if they played how they did. Second half, they made a tactical adjustment.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay, these men can match you going down the wing.
Yeah,
come inside. They're not going to be able to match that.
Yeah,
they're not going to know what you're going to do. So what did Nico Williams now? More freedom. You're seeing him on the right. You're seeing him pop up in the center. You're seeing him, and that's what Lamel was doing. And shout out to Lamel because that's crazy.
16, bro.
No, that's crazy,
bro. Like, even I'm not. And the thing is, I hope they don't compare him to Messi because Messi is an alien, and they shouldn't be comparing him. But have we seen a 16-year-old with that much consistency since I've been watching? I don't think I've seen a youngster with that much consistency play football at the highest level. Don't know how good he's going to be in the next 5-10 years, but at 16 years of age, I have not seen a footballer that young with the amount of consistency in a major trophy, in a major final. He could have been arguably playing a tournament at 16.
Yeah.
He could have arguably been playing a tournament.
The thing I liked about the Spain wingers is that they was back to old school. It wasn't solely about goals.
No, they put balls in the box. Put balls in the box.
Providers first. There's not this what we see
every week. Oh, thank God.
And shoot. Like, even though they're playing on that side to do it, no.
They're all whipping balls in.
Ball into the box. Run off them for the second ball or the third ball. That's what it's meant to be.
Or sometimes going down the line.
Yeah.
And getting across
mixing it up. Not the bog standard, and that was for me that was the most refreshing thing.
And that's why it was for football. Spain had to win, just to show them that's the blueprint. Because you know what it is. Like I said, this is going off topic. I'm gonna cut in a minute. Like I said, Pep. I'm not saying he killed the game, but that type of style and Klopp as well with the false nine, with the wide forward scoring 25 goals. Back in the day, if wingers were getting 10 to 15 goals, that's great because your striker's getting 30. And Pep's gone back to that style. He's bragging Doku. Doku's not going to get you massive numbers, but Doku will impact the game. They've got a killer up front that gets the goals. And that's how football used to be. The striker got the most of the goals. The wingers get you 10, 15, 5, 10 assists. And that's a top winger. And it's going back to that. And I hope that Nico Williams and Lamau stay in Spain and come to England because they're going to think these guys... That's what I'm saying. I know this.
Come on.
No way.
Yeah, it's impossible.
No.
They'll be ruined by the time they step foot on the soil.
Yeah, straight.
Unless they are going to a Pep, then it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. What do you think Southgate should go? Who do you think the new manager is? Tobias, last word.
Football won.
Yeah, football did win. And Man United lost their first preseason game. We are Real Talk Football TV. We are out.